Okay, this is the problem. Suppose that uh, their average bookstore cost is 76.78. You want to test this claim, okay? So the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis would simply be this one, that the null is 76.78 and the alternative is not. So in words, they the null hypothesis would be the average price of all textbooks from the store is 70 of all textbooks from the store is 76.78. So that would be that one. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do a sample based on this is a different way of doing failing reject hypothesis or rejecting hypothesis. It's basically creating a confidence interval. And then after we create the confidence interval, we're going to see if this 76.78 falls within that confidence interval. That's all we need to do. And it will coincide with P versus alpha if we did it that way too. The answers should be the same, but this is obviously asking you to do it a different way. So all we do is that we do a sample like we always do. Based on a sample of 60 textbooks, you find that the average of 80.38 and a standard deviation of 24. So your point estimate is 80.38. That's just that's our sample mean. Point estimate, sample mean, same thing. Okay. Now, this is one question I don't understand why we're using Z. Remember, I told you before that always use, if we don't know the population standard deviation, use T. And if you do know the population standard deviation, use Z. Well, so far we've really used T up till now, but this is telling us to use Z. And honestly, I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll try to figure it out. I don't know. But I just do what it tells me to do, right? So when somebody tells me to do something, I just listen, okay? All right. So what we need to do, what I did was I created a spreadsheet that given the mean, given the standard deviation, given the this is a sample mean, not the population mean, 76 and change, whatever that was, because we're creating a margin of error based on the sample mean, okay? So 60 sample books, those those books had a sample mean of 80.38, and then I'm going to put two possible confidence levels. If we're using T confidence, put it here. If you're using, if you notice for T, the answers for T are, blank. If we're using Z confidence, put it here, 0.95. And what I did, just so you know, the formula for confidence interval for Z, which is normal distribution, is right here. And I just said, okay, one, remember I told you 1 minus the confidence level is the alpha, that goes first. And then you go the standard deviation, 24, and then the sample size. So anyway, the margin of error, MOE, margin of error, for the Z confidence is 6.07. As you can see, that's the right answer, 6. Oh, it doesn't tell you that, doesn't want that. So then I took basically the the mean, the sample mean. Don't look at the $76, the population mean, what they're claiming yet. We're going to create the confidence interval and then see if that $76.38 falls within it or not. So if we subtract 80.38 minus the margin of error, we get that. And if we take 80.38 plus the margin of error, we get that. And there's our two answers for those two. Okay. All right. That's the point estimate. We already knew that. Subtract the margin of error, we get that number. Add the margin of error, we get that number. Now here's basically our confidence interval: 74.307 and 86.453. Does our mean cost fall within those two numbers? And the answer is yes, it does. So 76.78 does fall between these two numbers. So then we basically accept it, or in other words, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. And that's it.